Oh, hey guys. Today we're going to do a few different things to actually show you guys how you can actually enable the F12 function key so that you can actually detect bootable devices if you actually have a USB flash drive with the Windows 10 or 11 installation disk. Because by default with this model here that we're working on, as you can see here, just follow my cursor, which is probably the best way for you guys to follow. The model for this one here is the Acer Nitro 5 series, and the exact model is AN515-54-71FT. Because I was trying to do a Windows install here for a client here. So the good news with this one here, because I know that other Acer Nitros, which I've actually touched base with other models, when you're doing a new Windows install, sometimes you won't even be able to see your SSD hard drive or anything when you do a new install because you will need the Intel rapid storage technology driver, for it to show properly. And so if you guys want to see that, and if you're running into that issue, this is not the video for you. But if you look through my videos, you'll actually see one with an Acer Nitro series with thousands and thousands of views that will actually show you how to get that up and running. With this one here is to show you how to do the SSD upgrade or replacement, clean your CPU and your GPU fans, add some more RAM if you need to, and also access the BIOS menu. So this one here, we're going to start off with the BIOS menu here, how you can actually change your F12, enable your F12 function key so that you are able to see your USB Windows 10 or 11 installation. Because by default, it will actually not see it. It will just go into repair mode if you're having issues with a faulty hard drive or a Windows corruption where you can't boot back into Windows. And this is what you need to do to enable it so that you can actually get it up and running. So the first thing you want to do here, this is obviously how your laptop looks like, minus the sticker that she has on there. One thing you got to do is just to access the your BIOS, just power up the system and tap on or hold down the F2 function key. And once you do that, it will actually bring you to this screen here. So the first thing you want to do is you go to here, you go to the main option here. If you look at it carefully here, F12, the boot menu, it's disabled by default. And that's why you can't, when you're pressing F12 to see your bootable devices or see what devices that are bootable, is not going to ever show because you actually have to enable first. So as you can see here, just use your up and down arrow key and scroll down to the F12 boot menu, hit enter, and then use your up and down arrow key again to go down and enable it and save the changes. And the other thing here too, I just wanted to show you guys in this area here, you don't need to disable the UEFI or the secure boot to be able to see your new installation because I tried to see if that would work with leaving it there, and it works perfectly fine. So as long as you have the F12 function key enabled, make sure you do that. That's all you need to do. So once you've done that, go to move your left and right arrow keys to the exit key. Save the changes. As you can see, make sure that this section here, the exit saving changes, is actually highlighted, and press enter, and then it will prompt you to confirm, and then you just press enter again, and it will save the changes and reboot. And then if you're doing the Windows install and you're not doing any upgrades and stuff, and this is where it would end for you guys, and just remember that when you are saving the changes and the system will reboot, make sure that you have your Windows 10 or 11 USB flash drive plugged into one of the USB ports, and tap on the F12 function key. Then you will see your bootable device, and then you go on with you know the Windows installation, which is pretty straightforward. And if you guys aren't sure how to do that, I have many videos that actually show you how to do that, and it's very simple with this model here. And I forgot to make a note. When you're doing a Windows install, you don't need any special drivers to do the full completion of all of the drivers install for your video card, your USB ports, USB 3.0 ports, and all of the other ports, because the Windows update alone will actually install all of the drivers for you. So that is the awesome news. And the other good thing is too, with this model here, um, you know, as you can see here, I actually have the screen facing down. It's fully closed because I'm going to show you how to open the laptop. And the good thing is too, with this one here, all of the screws, from no matter where they're situated or located, they're all of the same length and the same diameter. So you don't need to worry about placing them in certain order or any specific order because they're all exactly the same size and same length. So you just take them all out, remove them all out, and just put them in a safe place to make sure that you don't lose a couple screws. And as you can see here, there's four up here, one, two, three in the middle, well, four in the middle, and then one, two, and three in the bottom. So once you remove that here, this is, and the other good thing is too with this model, it opens up so easily that you don't even need any prying tools. I literally use my thumbnail to open up the whole bloody thing, and it really opens up easily. So you guys don't need any pry tools for that also. Okay. So if you look at it here, this is, I actually have it propped up. So if you can see here, the screen is actually facing, it's flat down on the table, and then the keyboard top case is almost about 85-90 degrees upwards. So once you have it like that, this will be the next step here. This is what I'm going to do. So if you actually, as you can see, I literally just put my fingernails on the side left when it's facing upwards, and as you can see, it just it pries open pretty simple. Then I went back to the top left hand corner here using my thumbnail again, and as you can see, it just opens up very, very simple. And this is a further away shot from the same angle, as you can see here, with the screen facing down. If you look at my cursor here, I literally just ran my fingernails just going from left to right, and it literally just opens up. Very, very simple. And this is the right hand corner going downwards to the screen. And as you can see here, again, very simple. And then once you've done doing that, just make sure that you grab, here, I'll go back to this picture here so that you can reference it properly. Make sure that you grab this side here, in the side middle, and then the right side middle here with your left and right hand, and slowly close the laptop. Don't close it quickly, because once you have the screws removed, it is very easy for you guys to break the hinges or break something and loosen up the hinges. And you don't want to be in that situation, because then you're paying a couple $100 for somebody to fix it. Because once you break the hinge, which this model here, just let you know, it's not secured very good, because there's literally only one screw on each side where the hinge is actually locked in and holding the whole keyboard and the underbody together. So just make sure that you put your left hand here in the side middle, and then your right one in the side right middle here, and just close it up very, very slowly, pinching it, like getting a good grip and closing it carefully, and then close it completely to the way it should look like, just like this here. And then once you've done that, you can easily just remove the bottom case, and there's no wires attached to this bottom case, so you don't have to worry about pulling any wires or messing anything up. So just pop it up, and then once you've done that, this is what exactly how it should look like. And as you can see here, her system was super, super dirty. Let me take a look at that picture here. That's not liquid damage. If you look at it here, her two fans are just disgusting. She had Windows loading issues. Her fan was running really loud, and as you know now, obviously this is a closer shot of about what it looks like here. Her two CPU and a GPU fan, which is cooling, the heat sink and pushing out the hot air. It was having a hard time because it was literally that heavy. It wasn't spinning that fast, because it's hard to believe that with a lot of the weight of dust and everything else, it really slows down the speed of the RPM of your CPU and your GPU fan. So that's why it's really important once in a while, once every 6 months to a year, if you can, if you're a dirt bag, you know what I'm saying, just go grab some air, like go grab a can of air, compressed air, which is probably $3-4 at the dollar store. I know that Best Buy and other places sell it, but they're ripoffs. I've walked in there before trying to buy some for the retailers that I support, just to clean some of their POSs, and they're charging about $20 to $25 for a can of compressed air, and you don't get any more air from those guys. Those bastards. But just if you want to save some money, and air is there, right, guys? So just go to the dollar store closest to you and grab a couple cans of air. And the most important thing is, do not blow air into your motherboard area or anything electric area. So the first thing to do is, remember, we'll go back to this step here, is I want to show you guys how to unplug the battery power connector, because if you end up leaving your battery power connector plugged into the motherboard, there's a very, very high possibility you can actually short the motherboard. So please remember. So just make sure that you unplug the power connector for the battery, and I will show you guys here. So I'll show you that at the end, because I just want to continue on to show you where you guys can do your upgrade for your M.2 SSDs, which with this model here, it uses the 2280 series, SSD. And if you look at it here, there's two bays for that. So as you can see, she only has one drive here. There's a spare slot here. So if you want to remove it, just use your mini screwdriver. Just remove that screw, and then just slide this thing here. Will lift up a little bit and just slide it to the left, because there's a little latch there that's underneath this piece here. As you can see, if you once you remove the screw, just it will lift up a little bit, and then just slowly move it to the right. Slide it out to the left side, and remove the aluminum shielding, and then you'll actually have access to the SSD. And it's a 2280 series, right? Remember, guys. So if you guys want to replace what you have or add another piece, then obviously you would remove this one here and put it in there. And you can't make a mistake on this, because it's a very simple notch. I think it's like 5 and 20 something pins. So it only goes in one way, so you can't make a mistake. And you can easily buy those hard drives from Amazon for about 50 to $60 Canadians for a 500 gig. If you want a 1 terabyte, it's going to be a little bit more, obviously, but you guys get the idea. And the same thing was with the RAM. RAM. I really 24 years have been doing this. You really don't have to disconnect the battery power connector for this. The this to unplugging the battery connector cable. The most important things for the type of jobs you're trying to do is that if you're replacing your screen is really important, because if you're not 100% sure on how to remove the 30 or 40 pin cable when you're replacing a broken screen, you really got to disconnect your power connector for your battery cable. Or if you're actually spraying air into it, because that frost, if it's actually still connected, it can easily short your board. Because I've actually had guys come to me saying exactly what they did, and boom, they're paying $300 to $500 plus to fix a gaming series, laptop motherboard. So just to avoid that, just it takes a couple seconds to do it, and I'll show you right here. Okay, so going back to the battery to show you how to disconnect the power connector for it. As you can see, it's situated on the top left hand corner from the battery. So if you look at it here, I'm going to show you a closer pic. If you look at it here, there's a notch here on the left side, and there's a notch on the right. All you really got to do is just put your fingernail, just on the little notch here, and then just pull downwards, down south, and just wiggle it a little bit, and this will come out. And if you can see here, this is the top end of it. So once you start wiggling the left side and the right side with your left and right index finger, it will literally come out that easily. And if you can see here, it just comes out. I'm wiggling it here, and then this is the out position where it's completely out. And if you want to put it back in, it's just that simple. Also, just grab the connector and just put it back in, and it should look exactly the same way as it did here. So or right here. That's the in position, as you can see, and this is the out position where it's not even connected at all. So the two most important things, if you want to replace your screen, take the extra time to unplug the battery connector from your motherboard, or if you are spraying compressed air, because if you are using a lot of air and you don't release, it's always best when you're applying using a compressed air can. It's good to have two, and just apply, like, hold it for about 1 to 2 seconds. Just pump some air out, on and off, almost like you're triggering a gun. Don't hold the trigger down and just let it blow constantly, because that's what will turn into cold frost. I've seen boards that get damaged so bad because people don't realize how bad the frost from a compressed air can do damage to a system. I actually had another guy that we repaired for a projector. He paid almost $3,000 for it, and he was blowing compressed air through the areas that was actually blowing out the hot air and stuff through the perforated holes, and he ended up shorting his projector. But we managed to fix it for him, but he had to pay $500 to fix it. You see, a simple thing is just do those little important things. And I hope that this helps you guys out. But if you do have any questions or any concerns, just write down on the comments section, and please subscribe, and have a good day, guys. Cheers.